Yes. Ah.
The Force works in mysterious ways, it seems. There are times I'm not convinced it doesn't have a sense of humor. We spent all this time looking for you, and you came to us. I thought you might return to Onderon. Looks like just in time. I told the other masters that our only chance to figure out what was happening to us was to find you, and try to understand what happened to you. I don't know how much you know, but this threat that's striking at the Jedi, it's attacking us through the Force. Varuk didn't believe me, but he was willing to travel to Dantooine if only to help the settlers there, and perhaps protect what was left of the Jedi Enclave. Whatever the reason, having us all drop out of sight, I thought might make the enemy more bold. But then you happened. You came back, and you became a new target for whoever was attacking us. They were places touched by war, and we thought there was a chance you would return to these worlds, if only to try and make peace with what happened there during the war. But now the Sith have revealed themselves. That means the remaining Jedi will gather on Dantooine. From there, we can counterattack. Telos? But Telos was destroyed during the Jedi Civil War. I heard they're trying to rebuild. Atris? I thought Atris had gone to Qatar. Too many Jedi have scattered. The Council needs to gather. We cannot remain concealed any longer. We knew that someone was preying on us, hunting us. Finally, the Jedi decided to take action, and called a secret conclave on Qatar to decide what must be done. Before the meeting could even begin, all the Jedi on the planet were killed, along with the Miralukas and all other life on the planet. Their deaths could be felt throughout the galaxy. So the Council decided that we must not present ourselves as a target again. The consequences to others were just too great. That we should use our resources to fight. I think you're the only one who's made progress. The difficulties you surmounted to get here, you must have many. That sounds like the bond that often forms between master and apprentice. But to that degree, you always did form connections to others, strong ones, even when you were a student. But what you are describing is beyond me. I'm sure others in the Jedi Council would be able to assist you, if you could find them. Whatever I can tell you, I know that all too well. I came here to find them, to trace them to their source, the war on Duxon and Onderon. I had thought that perhaps the tragedies that occurred here were concealing them. The Jedi Order has been fighting the dark side since the beginning. Our rules and the Jedi Code provide protection from what's inside each of us. The dark side is always there, and it is something that can never truly be defeated. I feel our current troubles, though, are beyond what we... This threat that is targeting us, drawing us out, it's not a battle we're used to, and it has ended many of us. You've had more success than I. General Vaklu's men and their allies effectively kept me pinned inside the palace. I felt all along that Vaklu had contacted the Sith, but the identity and purpose of the Sith, I can't say. They wanted to aid General Vaklu in breaking away from the Republic. If Onderon became independent, this place would be an excellent staging ground for them. But I fear it was more than that. That the consequences of Onderon's fall would have greater implications for the galaxy. Whatever I can... It's a long story, but there's a reason the Jedi have scattered across the galaxy. Worlds touched by war, or great tragedies, can be felt within the Force. We thought that by traveling to such worlds, it would help conceal us from the eyes of the enemy. And they were places we thought we might find you. Whatever I can... Scattered, searching for you. Going to places where they thought they might cross your path. You were our last hope. I think we all know that Varuk isn't easily swayed from his convictions, and his views on anyone who went to the Yes. At least that's what I asked them to do. I believe you are the key to this whole war. When you stood before us in the council chamber on Coruscant, we felt something from you we'd never felt before. It was as if the Force had died within you, leaving you hollow. We had suspicions as to why this was, but nothing definite. But rather than try to understand, we sent you away. I think because at some level there was fear. We live our whole lives in touch with the Force, in touch with life all around us, and you had a gift in that regard. To see such emptiness in the Force standing before you. Whatever is attacking us, it is leaving something in its wake, something we haven't felt since you stood before us in judgment. The deaths of the Jedi, the destruction of Qatar, all of these things are leaving behind echoes, like the one we felt from you in the council chamber. It was clear to us, to me, that we had to find you, but we couldn't call you back from exile, because we did. Plus, there was a chance we might put you in danger, and that we couldn't allow. If you couldn't feel the Force, then it would just... I don't know how you got back, but The thing is, in traveling to these places where war was fought, we felt the same thing. Something happened in all these places, but it's hard to figure out what. It's hard to sense things through the Force in such places. Too much pain occurred here. It makes listening to the Force difficult. We resolved to meet again on Dantooine, but only when the threat revealed itself. Unfortunate. Now that we've stabilized Onderon, I can join the others on Dantooine. There was nothing else we could do. You defied the Council. You followed Revan to war. I know why you did it, but in so doing, much more harm was done. But you must understand, the exile was never the punishment you thought it to be. We could not have made you do such a thing in any event. I think you knew, inside, what you needed to do in order to heal. All those lives during the Mandalorian Wars, and all those you served beside. Too much death leaves echoes in the Force. It is the price for having such connections. I suspect that is why you chose to accept the Council's judgment, to wander beyond the Rim, and why you traveled with no one, and did not stay in any place too long. I have thought of you since your trial, and there are times when I wonder if being connected to the Force is always the gift it is believed to be. Whatever I can tell. You always had deep connections to the Force. I'm glad to see that it is once again your ally. When I first sparred with you during your training as a Padawan, I could tell that you were different. And it wasn't just your strong connection to the Force. Whatever cut you off from the Force? Why do you think the Council was responsible for that? No, I'm afraid the cause of your condition was as great a mystery to the Council as it is to you. There is something I would like to teach you. It is a technique which, I believe, will aid you in the trials ahead. This is a parry, an aggressive lightsaber form which is best used against a single opponent. Take care when you face multiple adversaries, and be sure to close the distance between ranged attackers quickly, or your ability to deflect blaster fire will be diminished. Excellent! I'm impressed with how quickly you've mastered this form. I always knew you were gifted. I'm going to Dantooine. The Jedi Council vowed to assemble again when the Sith revealed themselves. Now that they've attacked Onderon, we can act. Our paths will cross again. May the Force be with you.
I'm sorry to keep you here. I needed to thank you personally for all of your help. Onderon owes both you and Master Kavar a debt that can never truly be repaid. Battles still wage in our streets, but by morning the conflict should be over. I recognize you must leave soon, but please, take this. I had also planned on giving you some relics from Onderon's past, but Vatlu's troops looted our museum. I hope the Captain Bostuka has made arrangements for a shuttle to take you to your ship. I fear it will be quite some time before you... The war was brief but destructive. I will focus all of my energy on rebuilding Isis. Thank you again. I must go.
If you will follow me, I will take you to your shuttle.
sense the conflict on Onderon even from this dense jungle. Did everything go as you planned? Onderon will stop bleeding for a time, but wounded things rarely stay mended for long.
We should return to the Ebon Hawk now and plot our next course of action.
Is there...
There is nothing for us.
We've hit the ground. This is Korriban. Why would one of the Jedi you're looking for come here?
It seems quiet. Just the wind. But deep beneath the surface, there's great power in this place. For those who...
There is much that would draw a Jedi to this place. The resting grounds of the ancient and the most likely place to find our lost Jedi is the ruins of the old academy. After Malak and his army were defeated, instead of restoring order to Korriban, Revan suddenly departed, leaving both his destiny. It took a year or two for the Republic to send a force here to deal with any... They found Korriban much as we have, barren and lifeless. It was assumed that the remnants of the Sith... The Republic found evidence that several Sith lords escaped Korriban, fleeing to... As lifeless as it seems, the dark side is very strong here. The Sith lords would not ignore such a powerful place. There is much that can be learned. After Malak and his army were If you walk Korriban's surface, you shall walk it without me. I cannot. This place is strong with the dark side. It is difficult to center myself. Perhaps not. But I would caution you to guard your feelings carefully here. Korriban attacks the spirit and the body. I will remain here and meditate. Our link The Academy is on the other side of this valley. Dark energy fills these ruins, and even the... The structures you see around you are the plundered tombs of the ancient Sith lords. However, even the many traps could not long hold back the curious, the fools, and the weak. And so these tombs fell, spilling their secrets into the hands of those unable to comprehend or preserve them. The broken corpses before you are all that remain of the Sith on Korriban. I doubt there is much to be gained from looting these bodies. It would be best to leave them be. Fool! You've disturbed the spirits of this place, and they have sent their guardians. Hissis are semi-intelligent beasts, corrupted and strengthened by prolonged exposure to the dark side. As creatures of the Force, they have a limited ability to mask their presence. Hissis are drawn to suffering and carnage. They must have fed on all the corpses left over from the war here. The angry phantoms of the Sith, too weak to influence the sentient, have taken these Hissis. This was the tomb of Tulak Hord, known as the greatest lightsaber duelist of the Sith Lords. His skill was considered remarkable even in his time, when many true lightsaber masters lived. If you were to face an ancient Sith Lord in combat, you would learn that we are as children playing with toys compared to the prowess of the old masters. That is unknown, but supposedly he created a holocron to teach his technique to other Sith. The holocron would have been laid to rest in his tomb. Unfortunately, Tulak Hord's tomb was among the first penetrated by the grave robbers of the new Sith Order. If the holocron has survived, I doubt anyone living would know its location. lies the tomb of Naga Sadow, successor to Marka Ragnos, and the Sith Lord responsible for nearly conquering the Republic in the Great Hyperspace War a millennia ago. More recently, this tomb was where Revan confronted Uthar Vin, the leader of the Sith Academy. When Revan left Korriban, the Sith Academy was thrown into turmoil. With their leader gone, many fought for the right to rule. And so, the Sith here turned on each other, resulting in the carnage you can see coming. Before you is the tomb of the great Sith Lord, Marka Ragnos, a half-breed who possessed tremendous strength, both physically and in the Force. Ragnos held power for over a century, using his cunning to turn his enemies against each other. His death left a great vacuum of power. We're standing close to the spot where Naga Sadow first confronted Ludo Kresh to vie for domination of the Sith. Their struggle nearly resulted in a civil war that would have torn the Sith apart before they ever threatened the Republic. Yes, it is the way of the Sith. They must continually test their strength against each other, even if it means destroying themselves. As fate would have it, a pair of hyperspace explorers from Sinagar landed on Korriban. Naga Sadow manipulated the Sith into believing they were a sign of impending Republic invasion. This fear resonated with many Sith who were discontent with the lack of expansion of the Sith Empire during the reign of Marka Ragnos. Thus, Naga Sadow became Ragnos' successor. This way leads to the tomb of Ajunta Paul, a fierce Sith Lord. According to legend, the blade proved more fearsome than the master. Ajunta's dark spectre lived on through the centuries until Revan entered the Sith Lord's tomb in search of the blade. Revan sent Ajunta Paul's spirit into oblivion and claimed the blade for himself. Unknown. Some have suggested that the blade led to Revan's demise, as it did Ajunta Paul. That is only speculation, however. Where Revan wanders now is knowledge that only Revan holds. Here, you can just barely see the Sith archaeologists' efforts to uncover relics of the ancients. The new Sith Order sought to progress quickly by finding objects of power. I can only imagine what was lost forever due to the carelessness of these excavators. Now the excavation has been almost completely undone by 5 years of wind and sand. So does Korribban protect its secrets.
Please tell me we aren't going in there.
Observation. This cave is infested with Shirax, a species of easy-to-kill winged pests. They shall prove useful for testing my blaster accuracy ratio.
There is great power and dark energy within this cave. I would advise you to finish your explorations within the Academy before venturing into the cave.
The hairs on the back of my neck. Are you sure we need to go in there?
You can expect more than these beasts within the Academy. Be prepared.
Apprentice is here. Find him.
When someone goes through this much trouble to seal a door, it usually means there's something important on the other side.
Observation. This body has been dead no more than an hour.
I think the body was left here as a message to us.
you